As some of you might have noticed, but probably not, I unlisted all of my coming out videos. I did it a few months ago because I made the mistake of mentioning my YouTube channel to people at work who I wasn't out to, and I immediately panicked and unlisted all of those videos. And I haven't put them up since. And yeah. And I have been thinking a lot recently about the people I look up to and the people who helped me come out. And I realise I don't want to be that person who comes out publicly about something and then withdraws it because I'm scared. Because that's happened to me a lot, and it's disheartening when, not just because people are scared, but sometimes because people have realised their own identity more, which is fine, it's valid. I don't have anything against those people at all, but there's been a lot of people who I've looked up to as non-binary people, and they've either come out as fully trans, which again, valid, I have nothing against them, or they have retreated back into the closet, essentially. And I understand the latter's reasoning, but at the same time it's I think if you're going to put yourself out there as an influencer, as someone with subscribers and influence who is non-binary, is LGBT in any way, especially one that doesn't have, especially an identity that doesn't have much in the way of representation, I think you have to be prepared for the backlash that that might cause. And you have to be prepared to take that backlash and to figure out what you want to do in light of that backlash. I think too many people go into it thinking it's going to be, you know, all smiles and support and positivity, and it isn't. That's the reality of being like us. The reality is that even people within your own community are going to shun you. And for a long time I was scared of that reality, and I think a lot of other people are scared of that reality, but in hindsight, I think a lot of people who've come out as non-binary especially think that because they've seen trans people get so much positivity from their communities, not saying that's the same for everyone, I'm just saying that proportionally in LGBT communities there is a lot more positivity for straight up trans people than there is for non-binary people, because even trans people think that we're belittling their identities, we're making a joke out of it, we're not real, there's two genders, blah 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 blah. So I've been thinking about that a lot, and think the only way I'm going to find more people like me who see, the biggest problem I've had is finding people who aren't just non-binary, you know? Where being non-binary is enough of a part of their identity that it's there, but they do other things. They are just people who happen to be non-binary, rather than their entire channel and all of their content revolving around that. I think, because I want to be more than my identity. I want to be more than that. I want to be more than just that non-binary person. I want to be me who happens to be non-binary. And it's hard to find YouTube channels, especially who are that, who maybe make a few videos about being non-binary and are openly non-binary, but don't only talk about that. There's been a few YouTubers recently who fit that for me, who have withdrawn from the community and withdrawn anything about that identity from their pages. And I don't think that's fair. Like, I understand that it's hard. I understand that you're scared. I understand that the backlash is way beyond what you'd expect, and that's hard to deal with, and that not everyone can, but I think there are other ways than completely isolating yourself from the people who do look up to you and the people who do see themselves in you. I think if there's even one person who sees you and sees themselves in you, or sees some kind of hope in you, then that should be what matters. And with that in mind, I am not going to be avoiding the topic of being non-binary on my channel anymore. Because the only way I'm going to find other people like me is if I become that person. And as much as I don't think I really have the strength to, as much as I'm not confident and comfortable enough in myself that I can do that, I think I have to. As much for myself as anyone else. Because right now I'm not seeing a whole lot of hope that I can ever be anything more than that non-binary person who may or may not be faking their identity, may or may not be milking it, may or may not be completely fake because I present feminine or because I am not out to everyone. I will never be... I don't feel like I'll ever be more than that. And I don't feel like I'll ever be comfortable enough to come out to everyone. And I don't think I'll ever be comfortable enough to be myself. But I think if I talk about this more, I think if I put it out there more, then there's a chance that I can help someone else be that. And maybe in turn that will help me. But right now I think be the change you want to see is the most important cliche to take from this. I'm never going to find someone who suits my identity, because my identity is my own. But there is going to be someone out there who relates to me, and if I don't put myself out there, then I may never find them. I may never find that comradeship. I may never find that community. So I'm going to be making more videos about that, I think. And if there's anything you want to ask me about being non-binary, please do. And I will put it into a video somewhere.